Hi everybody, this is Barry Schwartz. This is the Search Buzz video recap. Today is December 25th, Christmas Day. I wanted to wish everybody a happy and Merry Christmas. I'm Jewish, so this is why I could do the video, and it's not a problem. I made sure to not post much today. There are some topics I would have posted originally, but one is I'm sure a lot of people won't be able to read it today, and two is I don't want people to have to surf through and sift through all the stuff that I wrote today just because it could be a little bit overwhelming when they get back to work and back to their readers. So I left it pretty much slow on both Search Engine Roundtable and on Search Engine Land. But I did want to let everybody know that I caught John Move, a Googler, working on Christmas Eve. He posted, I think, either early morning his time today or last night late. In the forums, in the Google forums, one in support thread and one is just wishing everybody Merry Christmas. So they've done this every year for the past at least 3 or 4 years. So it's not uncommon for a Googler to go ahead and do to work on Christmas. They also do it on New Year's. But I wanted to point out that the different search engines have the various logos, obviously, for the holiday. And I'll go ahead and show that to you now. We have logos from a lot of different places, so I'm going to zoom in and go through them as quickly as possible. It was a fairly slow week, being it's Christmas. I'm sure next week will be also pretty slow. But as you can see, here's the Yahoo logo. It's pretty cute. It's animated, but you can't see it on my iPhone because Flash doesn't work on the iPhone. Here's the Bing theme from yesterday, Christmas Eve. It's cute as well. And here's from today, on Christmas Day. Here's the Ass theme. Very nice. Dog Pile. Everybody loves Dog Pile. This is Baidu. I'll zoom in a little bit so you can see that. That's Baidu. That's Quintora. This is Jim Lanzone's Clicker. That's a search engine for finding TV shows and stuff like that. This is Sogua. It's like a Japanese, Chinese, Asian type of search engine. FriendFeed. Bruce Clay. They have a nice theme up, same from last year. Create a Site has their theme up. We have our theme as well. You can see that as not as well. This is a nice Christmas tree. And here are all the Google logos. Let me show it to you. Google, the first 4 or 5, I think 5 days ago, 4 days ago, 3 days ago, 2 days ago, and today is the logo that they have today. And that pretty much is covers all the logos. We have all the logos plus all the history of the logos dating back to 2003 in our post on December 24th at seroundtable.com. So you can definitely take a look at that to find more logos. So definitely take a look at that. Also, Google sent out their holiday. Actually, let's go through the next logos. The next logos are logos for the winter, and I wanted to show you some winter logos that we have here. Let me zoom in a bit. This is Bing's winter logo, and YouTube had one, and so did us. So here's the Bing logo, or theme. Nice, very nice picture. Here's YouTube, and here is Search Engine Roundtable. So there you got that. All right, so those are the various logos that we have for the past week. It was the first day of winter earlier this week, so that's why they have those winter logos as well. Google sent out $20 million in charity in lieu of, or in exchange of, holiday gifts. Usually every year they give out holiday gifts, swag to their advertisers, publishers, and to their webmasters as a thank you for using Google and for using their services and helping them make money and helping us make money and stuff like that. This year they did not. I think this is the first year they didn't send out. Last year they sent out to very few people, and this year they, I think, totally cut it, and they sent out an email to everybody in their email list pretty much saying Happy Holidays from Google, and they basically said they're going to send out $20 million to various charities, which I thought was fairly nice. It's a nice gesture, being the economy and stuff like that. However, soon also we saw that Google is actually cutting service representatives, AdWords representatives, and we asked, is this a cut? Or basically this person was cut. One person actually said they were cut because they're not signing up any new customers, but yet they do spend a ridiculous amount of money per month on their existing advertisers, but they just don't have the bandwidth to add new advertisers. But they're spending a ridiculous amount, but because they're not adding any new advertisers, they're cutting everything. But some people say that that's a sign that this advertising will be banned in the future. Some are saying Google's just cutting, which is something we'll lead into next. So Brett Tapke felt that the webmasters that did not get gifts were stiffed. They say Google gives it out charity anyway. It's a donation. He basically went off on Google for saying it's not right that you're cutting these gifts in lieu of swag, because every year you give swag, and it's just their way of not having to worry about giving out swag and spending the money on giving out swag to their advertisers and publishers. He thinks Google gives the charity anyway, and it's really just a tax deduction for them, and it was wrong for Google to do. Not everybody agrees with that, but that's what he says. But then we saw where this really stemmed from, and Brett Tapke explained why he was pretty upset with Google. He's basically feeling that Google is pulling out and spending less on webmaster advertiser support. He said Google retracted pretty much from every webmaster and site owner outreach program they had in 2009. They left the trade circuit. Basically, they left the trade shows. They didn't participate much in the conferences. They let their own speakers pay their way, meaning they didn't cover the Googlers going to conferences. They eliminated AdWords account support, which we discussed a second ago. They laid off hundreds of workers, mostly temporary workers, supporting advertisers. They canceled the Google customer support party, obviously the Google Dance. That did not happen this year. And they eliminated vendor and appreciation programs such as the gifts that they did this year. He went off and talked about this. I went into a long post explaining the various posts and showing evidence to some of what he's saying, as well as asking if it's really true. Maybe Google's just being more cost conscious, but they're actually stepping up in other ways. So I'm not exactly sure. You can take a look at this long post on December 24th and make your own decision on that. I can see where Brett's coming from, and it's definitely something that a lot of webmasters feel, and hopefully it's not so true. In many steps in going to 2010, I hope that Google steps up in spending on webmasters and spending on advertisers, because that's really who drives their business on a day-to-day basis. Outside of that, two more quick topics. One is Bing. Bing technically does not support the colloquial tag at all. In February, they announced jointly with Google and Yahoo that they are going to support the colloquial tag. Again, the colloquial tag is a way for you to instruct a search engine that a 301 redirect should be in place without actually redirecting a user. Last week or so, Google announced that they're doing this cross-domain. Particularly, it was only allowed on the same domain beforehand, so it was only a single domain-based thing. So you can only say this page within a domain is being moved to this page within a domain. Now you can do it across domains, which is nice. But then Matt McGee at Search Engine Land reached out to Bing and asked them what their status is on this, and they said they actually do not support at all, even within a single domain, the colloquial tag, even though they announced it 11 months ago. They're working towards it. They're hoping within the next 4 months or so they're going to support it, and they're hoping to support the cross-domain as well, but they typically do not recommend using it. They say you should definitely use a 301 redirect instead of using the colloquial tag. What upsets me mostly about this is not the fact that it's taking 11 months, or it's going to take over a year for them to officially support it even after they announced it. It's more the fact that in the webmaster forums, at Bing forums, you have a guy named Brett Yunt from the Bing team who actually helps webmasters there, and he's saying that they actually Bing actually uses this as a hint, and you shouldn't use it just because it uses it as a hint. But in fact, it's not even being used as a hint from what I understand and from my communications with Bing and what I'm reading out there. So I just don't like that this misinformation is being pushed out there on the web, especially from somebody who should know better. So hopefully that will be cleared up soon, and we'll see. Also, last week we reported all the issues with the Google QR codes, the Google favorite places decals. That seems to be resolved now, mostly because one of the top apps that Google recommended to use when you scan these QR codes is the QuickMark app. And the QuickMark app happened to be updated and had a bug pretty much exactly the same time when Google sent out these decals to businesses. So a lot of people were using the QuickMark app, and it was sending people to the wrong business. QuickMark fixed it this week. A new app is available for free as an update as a free update if you already bought it in the iTunes App Store, so you could get it, and that fixed the issue for me, and I was able to actually test it and confirm that it worked. So that pretty much recaps this week. It was a fairly slow week, like I said. Thanks for listening to the Search Buzz Video Recap. Merry Christmas to everybody, and that was the December 25th Search Buzz Video Recap. The past news we covered over at croundtable.com. Hope to have a lot more topics for you next week. Everyone have a great Christmas, and I guess I'll speak to you New Year's. Everyone, be well.